The game is over. The story Goliath Ventures is now publishing is We're Doing an Audit. Is nothing more than a final script of a collapsing Ponzi scheme that they reach for. And while they hide behind that excuse, the real damage sits with people who trusted them. Firefighters, retirees, young families with mortgages, and everyday investors who believed the lies. The next stage begins now. People are reaching out, the clawbacks are starting, and the truth is finally breaking through. Now, this isn't a moment for me to gloat. This is a moment for me to give you direction, to show you what happens next, and to help you take the right steps now that the facade or the house of cards has collapsed. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. It is now 20 to 8. I've been up ever since. I don't do this for entertainment. It actually emotionally affects me. I actually went to sleep at 12:30. I actually fell asleep on the sofa, to be honest. And then I woke up at 3:30 in the morning thinking, I've got to do a live. We've got to put this content out. We've got people who are also not sleeping at night. But there's some individuals who are trying to keep face, and they're just spreading lies. And we're here to help you. Now, if you go into the description of the video that I'm doing right now, there is a link to a blog. And it is, I think it's blog number 19 that we've done. And we've given you updates of every sequence of what's happening with Goliath Ventures. It's not them and us. It's you and I. How can I help you? How can I give you the direction that you need right now? What should you do? You've been scammed by one of the largest Ponzi schemes in America, by a bunch of fraudulent people who are still cashing out, even though they're claiming that funds are locked. I can't actually put it any better than I have in my blog. And as many of you know who subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm not the world's best reader. In fact, I'm probably one of the worst. But to date, I've actually published over 1,500 blogs, and about 400 of those blogs are about large-scale Ponzi schemes and scams. And I've seen it all. Even Goliath Ventures tried bribing me with $150,000 to shut up. And they're still firing things at me, which I can't talk about. But we're a small group of Avengers with a very loud voice. And we've been yelling at everyone for months, telling them that they're getting scammed. And they haven't listened to us. Now's the time to listen up. One of the largest Ponzi schemes in America, Goliath Ventures Inc., has now collapsed. They will be still offering you lifelines. They will be buying time. But right now, as we speak, Christopher is in Dubai, and he's doing phone calls to calm the farm with different individuals, telling them they're doing an audit. It's telling investors that I'm told you I'm no good at reading, so we're going to read this first paragraph anyway.
It is telling investors that owing to a forensic audit, the payouts due to investors on 14/Nov/2025 won't be sent out till the audit is complete.
Yeah, so that's the newsletter. We've got a copy of the newsletter here. I have had feedback from other people who've just got their hands on the newsletter. We were trying to verify the newsletter. We've verified it's come from Goliath, and people have been contacting me upset, telling us that the game is over, and they've actually been patting us on the back, but we don't want to go there yet. So what we've learnt, that insiders such as, I have to, Nick, I'm going to read these because this is the shocking part of this whole ordeal. This is what, we get taunted. Tomo was posting on Facebook telling people that he's got citizenship in New Zealand. And I'm pretty sure the immigration department would love to know what I know about him. But anyway, they've been taunting us with different things, trying to shut me up. And as I said, they've offered me $150,000 to shut up, but I'm not going to take money from investors to line my pockets. I would rather go broke.
But we have learned that insiders such as Nick Petrillo, Tomo Mujanovic, Punit Shah, Jason Newton and others have paid their romantic partners and family members tens of millions since 12/9/2025.
Yeah, so we've got the receipts where they have been paying people in the immediate group money from the 12th of November, but everyone else has been told that, I'm sorry, I have to say it, there's going to be no money left. The money's gone. There's, they've ran out of money. They've been bleeding money, and they don't, the money's gone. It will be all hidden anywhere. This is just another day in the office for me, I'm sorry to say.
Why is it that those not in romantic relationships with the bigwigs of Goliath Ventures can't get their money out, but family members and romantic partners of Goliath insiders, such as Stacey Schenkman, who is very close to Nick Petrillo, but is married to Dr. Douglas Schenkman, are able to pull out large sums of money, I believe?
And some things that we haven't told people is we currently have 130 people on our persons of interest list. These are people that have invested. These are people that we have been monitoring. These are people that we've emailed and we've asked them to provide information to us and have chosen to remain silent. But what we haven't told you, we also have another database. We have a database of whistleblowers, people who are in the community, who are interwoven throughout all these persons of interest that we have, and they've been providing us amazing intel. And I would like to take this time to thank those people who have trusted us in keeping their knowledge and what they know and the people they associate with anonymous, because no investigation is done by one individual. I often tell people we have a team of Avengers. I was speaking to a big reporter today at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they asked me who my Avengers were and how many in the team. And I said, I can't answer that. And they said, oh yeah, we understand. I said, no, because there's so many people that provide us information. And it all depends what scam we're busting at the time. But this one is, it's in America. And a lot of Americans are just amazing people. So this is how we find out this intel. So you might be sitting here thinking, oh, no one will know, but we certainly know who's got the money. And the clawbacks will be the thing I'd be worried about if you've taken more money than you've put in.
When Ponzi schemes start running out of money, they never admit it. They don't warn investors. They don't tell the truth. They double down, sending out more lies, vague promises, and half-truths designed to keep everyone calm while the walls close in.
So just imagine, look at Christopher, being able to spend 6 figures on one night with alcohol at a nightclub. One of our informants verified that. He's bought 5 houses in Florida, I believe, and also 2 in Dubai, and also has a black Ferrari. I'm not used to sports cars. $4 million worth of vehicles. His partner, is it Ty? I might not be saying her name right. Over $1 million she's been given in gifts in the last 12 months. Learjet rides everywhere. Millions of dollars of your money, your investor money, has been by Christopher. So at this time, when apparently an auditor, which is untrue, has decided to freeze the company, which is untrue, Christopher is in Dubai. Do you think he's going to come home? This is a photo of Nick Petrell, but that's not his wife. And I'm just going to read the paragraph at the bottom. It's a lot easier than me trying to explain it.
Goliath Ventures COO Nick the Gigolo Petrillo and Goliath super recruiter Stacey Schenkman, who is married to surgeon Dr. Douglas Schenkman, who is a big investor in Goliath Ventures. Dr. Douglas Schenkman posted this picture on Instagram with the caption, "We extended Nick's birthday celebration just to make the guy feel a little more special," which likely means he's a cuckold.
Ooh. So that's an interesting photo too. Would you be holding another man's wife like that? They must be good friends. But anyway, the point there is two people who, I don't know if I should say in bed together, but there are two people that have been heavily promoting, and obviously Nick's, like the partner of Christopher, and she's been a major recruiter. And we know this, the people that are involved are all associated to a lot of the medical profession. So what's all this about then? Let's have a listen to this.
Goliath Ventures Incorporated has now reached that stage. Goliath Ventures has suspended all payouts and has alerted investors with an email update, forensic audit update, and October distribution. And on the surface, it reads like a confidence-building announcement.
Yeah. So we've analysed this letter. We've verified it's true. We've also put a copy of it on our blog. So if you go there, you'll get the actual original letter. And I think it would be only fair to read it so you can see. Now, every time we get a letter, we did this in a video yesterday, it comes out in different font. And we did discover something interesting, but we can't tell you what. Sorry, but the font changes, the spacing changes, but that's why we are a little bit concerned that these weren't genuine, but we've verified this letter. This is literally real.
Dear valued Goliath Ventures participants, at Goliath Ventures, transparency and trust are the cornerstones of our operations in the dynamic world of decentralized finance. We are thrilled to share a significant milestone in a commitment to these principles. Our third-party audit, conducted by a leading forensic certified public accountant firm, is progressing steadily toward completion.
Right, so why don't we name the company? We've got verifiable proof that he's claimed he's got, and we've got it in the letter. He's given the name, but in this letter, he does not name the person or the individual who's doing the audit. And why would you start off a newsletter with transparency and trust are the cornerstone of our operations in a dynamic world of decentralized finance? What a load of bullshit, poos and wheeze. First paragraph, what the heck does that actually say? I'm no scholar with words, but that type of jargon, a lot of people would literally be thrown up in a bucket reading this letter, especially if you've got millions invested. And here they are telling you, because remember, they've told you that 115% of everyone's principal is safe. But now an auditor, which they never do, is freezing everyone's funds. And it's just absolutely bullshit. So it's hard for me to not give a full commentary on this, but let's just read the letter.
This rigorous independent review, initiated at the request of our esteemed participants, serves as a powerful testament to the integrity and success of our liquidity provision strategies. By engaging top forensic experts, we are not only validating a day-to-day liquidity strategy, but also providing irrefutable proof that your allocations are fueling genuine growth, free from any concerns. The audit will culminate in a comprehensive certified report, shared with all participants, reinforcing the robust health of our fund and empowering you with full visibility into our operations.
Wow. Do I need to remind you of the last audit done by Matt Burke? Matt Burke was independent, working for Black Block, and then Black Block now merged in with Goliath. And Matt Burke, I haven't seen him for a while. He's a parish. So the last auditor they did the audit with was a parish. And when we contacted his church, they scrubbed him from the website. And he's no longer a parish on the website. He's an elder. And they've taken all the words off the website. Even the Indian Chamber of Commerce have decided to finally totally scrub Goliath Ventures from their website. we found out that after we contacted them twice and said, why are you promoting Goliath Ventures? Do you not realise they're being investigated by six different government agencies? And they removed all the events and left the logo on the website. And then we've emailed them again and we've said, what are you doing? Why are you promoting Goliath Ventures? They must have had some sort of contractual agreement maybe, but now they've got some balls and they've decided to scrub Goliath Ventures off their website. So people have had enough of this bullshit. Now, if this was still a legitimate company, would a legitimate company be acting in this manner?
Important note for October distributions: to ensure the audit's thoroughness and accuracy, and to have the audit completed before the end of the year, the audit team, in conjunction with legal, has recommended a brief adjustment to our monthly distribution strategy. This adjustment means temporarily halting operations, and as a result your monthly distribution will be slightly delayed. Goliath is working as quickly as possible to complete this phase of the audit and resume normal business flow. We are not in a position to advise as to the exact length of the payout delay, but rest assured you will receive your monthly distribution as planned. You will receive additional communication as this step is completed and distributions have resumed.
We'll just take off to Dubai. Hey, Christopher, have you got me on your big screen today? Do you have a big screen in your house in Dubai? Because that's where you are right now. So Goliath is working as quickly as possible to complete this phase. So are you doing the audit, Chris? Or we've got your auditor, your alleged auditor in our newsletter. Oh my God. And in here, anyone in their right mind would know if they had an auditor that's meant to be the bee's knees, you would name the auditor. I mean, this is just, I'm not laughing. It's just, this is like, these letters are like, Christopher, this one's a bit more better formatted than the last newsletter. He got the spacing all wrong and he used a different font. They usually use Arial, and this time they've used Times Romans. So it's maybe because you're using a new version of your newsletter stuff there, Chris. Maybe you think, wonder how we know that shit. Thanks, Alex. Oh, sorry, is it Alex? I forget their names. They all look the same. Scammers.
This pause in outgoing direct distributions allows our auditors unrestricted access to trace every movement of funds, delivering the gold standard verification you deserve. This is the only way this audit can be completed, which will scrutinize every transaction Goliath has made since the company's inception. Taking us offline ensures the safety of the participants' contributions and compounding, as going offline ensures no sensitive data is compromised in any way. Allowing the auditors unfettered access can only be accomplished in a very strict and controlled way. The benefits are clear: enhanced credibility, fortified risk management, and a stronger foundation for continued success. In short, this step safeguards your deposits today while amplifying opportunities tomorrow.
Oh my God. Come on, guys. I have a couple of people who have family involved, and the family is still hanging out because they've got nothing else to hang on to. I used to have this illustration where a man runs over a cliff and he hangs onto a branch for dear life, and he's hanging on the branch. He just can't hang on any longer. And then a nice gentle voice from behind says, let go of the branch. And he turns around and it's a familiar face and he's only a foot off the ground. Because we hang on to hope. And a lot of people are hanging on to hope that I've got this wrong. They've been choosing to ignore the warning signs. None of this makes sense. If you put this all together and it was an engine, it wouldn't start. It doesn't have what a company of this size would need to have to be a company of this size. And do your research. This guy here, Christopher, do your research on any other company in history that has stopped investors' funds being paid out. I bet they're still taking deposits from people who want to invest. Watch that, because that shouldn't be happening either, right? But imagine a company. Can you think of any other company in history that when they were doing an audit, they froze the assets? That is normally what happens if you've been raided by the IRS, not by your employed auditor. So this is total bullshit. It doesn't matter if you want to believe me or you don't. This is bullshit. And remember, I do have a large team of Avengers who scrutinize everything I say and do. So come on, give me a company of this size that has froze their company's spending, income, outcome money while they do an audit. Give me one, just one.
We truly appreciate your patience and partnership during this process. Your continued confidence in Goliath Ventures drives a success, and we look forward to celebrating the audit's completion with you soon. Should you have any questions, our team is here to assist. Contact support@goliathventuresinc.com.
So there's the man of the moment. Him and Nick own this company. Nick's already been in law. There's a lawsuit which he was invested in. He wasn't invested in, but he was part of a lawsuit where the company got fined $2 million. We've done videos on that. Christopher, we know he used to work for In-N-Out Burger. Always like to support the burger makers. But Christopher got fired from a company because he stole Adele tickets and gave them to his wife, which is, he's still going through legal proceedings. So this is the man here. And also, if you don't know about it, Goliath Ventures Inc., their domain name was registered 20 days after another company called My Liquidity Partners, and it's a mirror Ponzi scheme and scam. And we've got photos of Nick, Christopher, and the other guy that's got imprisoned for 2 years because of that scam. And this is a mirror image of it. Do research on My Liquidity Partners. So, so they've suspended payouts and alerted investors with an email update, which I've just given you. And on the surface, it reads like a confidence-building announcement where trust us. Now, who's doing the audit? Would you like to know? Well, here we go. There is no audit, but this is what they're telling people. So we are dying to see this announced, and now it's public. You're obviously telling people who are ringing you, because remember, you can ring up Chris and he'll calm the farm. But if you want to know who's doing the audit, then how come he's telling people on the phone, but he's not telling people publicly?
Joel Glick, Berkowitz Pollock Brand Advisors plus CPAs. Audit claimed by Goliath. Goliath Ventures claims to have engaged auditing services from Joel Glick, Berkowitz Pollock Brand Advisors plus CPAs, but they have failed to release any proof of having done so. Furthermore, they have hidden the name of the auditor and the audit firm even from people who have $10 million plus invested into this so-called crypto investment.
Yeah, so we've spoken to people that have invested well over $10 million. And we've also spoken to a lot of people who invested $50,000 that were squeezed to update their investment to $100,000. So, you know, and this is they're also telling people the minimum investment was $100,000. Then we see other contracts where the minimum investment was $250,000. So they are moving money around. This is not, they do nothing. No transparency while lying about transparency. At Goliath Ventures, transparency and trust are just cornerstones of our operation. Well, where is the transparency? Trust me, bro. Have a feel-good factor about us because we've wrote a nice newsletter, probably written with ChatGPT. Be careful you don't get done for violating their terms.
This is a lie. Goliath Ventures' cornerstones are lies, obfuscation, and slavish belief in the ridiculous delusions laid out by a conman, liar and former burger flipper, Chris Delgado, who has gotten close to figures like Patrick Bet-David, Eric Trump and Kash Patel. If transparency were truly a cornerstone, this would be the moment they name the audit firm, show the engagement letter, list the CPA license number, or provide investors anything verifiable. Instead, they give nothing, just more lies for an already long list.
Yeah, so it's kind of like these guys are like Instagram selfie heroes. Every time they see somebody famous or they can get an opportunity to be at a dinner with somebody, here we are, take a photo of Kash Patel, Eric Trump, Donald Trump. Patrick Bet-David was a crack up though. I've messaged him a few times. He doesn't want to reply to me, but here he is taking $1 million from Goliath Ventures so that Chris can have naming rights and get up on the stage and tell everyone that he's here to help people with their passive income and how he's been into crypto for so many years. And what else did he say? He did. He does liquidity pools and pancake swaps, for God's sake. Mathematically impossible to make the money, the 60% return he's telling people they'll get if they give them $100,000 or more. If you give them over $500,000, it's mathematically impossible to get that from doing liquidity pool trades, what he's claiming. And also, don't forget the cracker, which you should have really listened to, guys. He said it's insured. Come on. This does not make sense.
The email only refers to a leading forensic certified public accountant firm. No name. This is not how real audits work. The auditor is always revealed in these situations. Look at the collapse of FTX, First Brands, Tricolor and other frauds. The auditor is always front and center.
Yep, it is. The auditors rule the market. So, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm not an investor, but did you guys really ask Christopher to get an audit? Has he got any proof of that? Did everyone put a letter in together? Do all you investors get together and go, "Hi, Chris, we're at our yearly shareholder meeting. We would like to audit." We're at a shareholder meeting, and we would like you guys to do an audit. Was anyone at that meeting, or did you go to the webinar they had, which was advertised as a 45-minute investor update, and it lasted 12 minutes. No one could ask any questions, and you couldn't even see who was in the room. I mean, how ridiculous. An audit investors didn't ask for. The email ties to strengthen the story. A rigorous independent review was instigated at the request of our esteemed participants. This simply is untrue. Investors have been asking for basic things. Where's my withdrawal? Can I see trading records? Why is support not replying? That's what the reality is. No investors asked Goliath to halt operations and begin a forensic audit. Did you guys do that? Did you say, hey, Chris, can you halt, stop all payments to me? I want an audit done now. No, investors just want their money back. The principle is what you should be asking for. And don't forget, 115% of all investors' money, going by Matt Burke's last audit, is secured. You just need to go there and get the money back. You want the principal back. Forget about your stupid interest. I don't want to tell you where your principal is. And most will be happy just to get their principal back. Look, I'm doubling up here. Many are suffering nervous breakdowns. We've had some seriously sad stories coming through, and I'm sorry to hear that. And I don't mean to take the piss out of anybody. It's not a laughing matter. This is what I do for a living. To keep my own sanity, I didn't wake up at 3:30 this morning in New Zealand and couldn't get this off my mind. You know, I've been chased down by these guys. They have come after me with, I won't say everything they've got, but I will say they come after me. And they are disgusting individuals. These aren't nice people. These aren't people you want to be friends with. These are people that will do what it takes to get their money. They don't care about you, and their actions speak louder. Words speak action. I don't even know that right saying.
Many are suffering nervous breakdowns thanks to the stream of lies from Chris Delgado, Tomo Marjanovic, Jason Newton, Punit Shah, and Nick Petrillo. These insiders have greenlit the withdrawal of tens of millions to their family and romantic partners, while telling other investors that payouts are stopped.
Yeah. So is that what they're telling you? Oh, we haven't got our money. No, we're in the same boat as you. Hear it every day. How many people tell me they're in the same boat as me and they're still on the Titanic? I've found people telling me that they're in the same boat as me and they're still promoting these Ponzi schemes. When a hyperverse went down and all their funds were frozen, they were taking cash off people and then generating empty accounts and giving them to people. One guy who's just been his company liquidated, Rory Conacher, had actually been taking cash of people and they've been putting it in his bank account. And then he went into crypto recovery mode. And I was on a video watching him, as I do, and somebody said, I never got my account number. I put the money in your bank. And he goes, oh, yeah, I'll get you an account number. So he'd be going through there looking for an account number of somebody else who's fallen off the wagon. You know, these guys are disgusting. So that's That's what they're doing. So let's carry on reading before we're here all day.
Irrefutable proof and other impossible promises. The letter confidently promises that the audit will provide irrefutable proof that investor funds are generating genuine growth.
Really? Really? And don't forget, they said they wanted to get it done before Christmas, so they're not going to they have no intentions to start paying out people again. I've seen this rodeo so many times. And it's not, you miss this month, you're going to miss next month and the next month, and they'll just keep stringing you along. So you need to act fast. And at the bottom of this email, you can go get it in the description of the video, scoot to the bottom and start doing the reporting to the FBI and all those people that actually go after the crypto. If this is crypto, if you've paid in crypto, go to the crypto people, go to your local FBI, don't muck around, but we'll explain more of that in a minute.
No legitimate audit firm on earth signs off on profit claims or growth projections. A forensic accountant checks one thing: what happened to the money? Audit firms do not offer irrefutable proof.
Oh my God, that's so true. I didn't actually pick up on that. I had some help writing this. That's true. Audit companies do not give proof of income. They look at the bookwork, where the money goes, how the money comes in, and where it goes. They're not going to provide proof of income. That to say that in the newsletter shows how stupid Christopher is.
Chris Delgado has run out of money. He can't even pay his Amex bills and is spending his last days pretending to be a boss with Tiffany Nguyen, Diana Despoilks, and other shameful hangers-on who, I believe, have taken stolen money knowing full well it was all a scam.
Yeah, Diana, I hear that you're the last real estate company don't want you anymore. So you've had to switch. You're working for a new one now, have you? Hey, how do we know that, I wonder? Crypto crash. Yes. Check the price of Bitcoin. I should check the price of Bitcoin. Check the price of Ethereum. I should do that too. So why isn't this affected Goliath Ventures? I've said it many times before, $380 billion lost in a day. The biggest crash ever in crypto. And Christopher didn't even flinch. Had nothing to worry about. His whole company's built on crypto trading, blockchain technologies, and crypto mining. And crypto took the biggest dive ever. But everyone's insured. Have you read the contract? I've forgotten how many pages. I think it's 27 pages. Could be 14. I forget. Anyway, at the very, very bottom, in the last line says, and by the way, if you want proof of the insurance, email us. Have you emailed them and asked about the insurance? Because your insurance that Chris has got might actually cover you for your monthly dividends. Have you thought about that? Go and ask Chris for the insurance policy so you can look at it and just make sure that your money's safe. Because I'm no doubt you've done that, right? Okay, all major cryptocurrencies have collapsed in value. This made it far more difficult for Christopher to raise funds with the story of forever profits from crypto. Having said this, Goliath Ventures dealt very little with crypto. Most of the money invested into the fraud scheme came from wire transfers. Oh, so that's what the auditor's going to pick up. Oh, the money hasn't come off the blockchain. It's come from wire transfers. And less than 1% of the funds actually used to do anything touched the crypto blockchain. Now, we've got some pretty clever people on my Avenger team, and they keep coming up with like blocks. They can't find the crypto trail. It doesn't exist. The crypto's bullshit. It's crap. It's poos and wees. There's nothing on the blockchain in the size of this company. Nothing. Surprise, surprise, payouts have stopped. As I predicted, September 2025, there were never any liquidity pools. There were never any trading. And insiders like Tomo, I can't even say your last name, his mother, I can't say her name. In fact, I'm going to read this paragraph because we want to get these paragraphs into your head.
And insiders like Tomo Mijanovic, his mother Ankika Mijanovic, Nadia Bringas, and Harry M. Samuels full well knew it was a Ponzi scheme, even discussing their $1 million withdrawals coinciding with the last major transfers into the fraud. I believe Goliath Ventures is now telling investors.
Yeah, so Harry M. Samuels, I always forget his first name, but Mr. Samuels. Did you know that Nadia, the bookkeeper, that handles all the money. So we're talking about we're guessing $300, maybe $500 million Ponzi scheme. All their books are handled by Nadia Brinkus. She shut down her company on the 2nd of September and reopened it in Wyoming. And did you know that Goliath Ventures Inc. also shut down their company on the 3rd of September? And they reopened it in Wyoming, which means all your contracts that you have, did you re-sign them? Because if you do a wee search on ChatGPT and ask it, what happens if you shut down a company in Florida, see if it says you're allowed to still do business. I'm just curious if you've done that research. I can tell you now, no company called Goliath Ventures Inc. can keep running after they've shut down, even if they open up somewhere else with the same name. It doesn't work like that. But anyway, Harry M. Samuels has actually registered over 500 companies. And at the one of the meetings that he had that we caught on video of them telling everyone who was going to promote them that they had to set up their own LLC companies. Well, Harry Samuels did that. And then we didn't realize until a wee bit down the track that Nadia Brinkus is actually on Harry M. Samuels' website as an employee. So these guys are the ones that have a big portion of your money, and I bet you don't even know who they are. Goliath investors are now telling investors this adjustment means temporarily halting operations and your monthly distribution will be slightly delayed. Okay, guys, no worries with that. You're all good to go. Don't worry about Danny DeHeck and his Avengers been trying to wave the flag in front of you guys for a long time. There it is. The truth buried under paragraphs of positivity. So there we go. It's like a shit sandwich. Have you ever had one of those? I used to go to Toastmasters, and we used to do what we call an evaluation of somebody who spoke. And we were taught that you have a shit sandwich. So you say something lovely and you really enjoyed your speech. It was fantastic, but you sounded like a moron in the middle. And then you say, but I'm looking forward to your next talk. And that's called a shit sandwich. It's what you really want to say is in the middle, and then you fluff it each side to make it a little bit easier to digest. That's a shit sandwich. That's what this letter was to everybody that Christopher sent out, a shit sandwich. There it is, the truth buried under the paragraphs of positivity, shit sandwiches. A genuine audit does not require halting withdrawals. Auditors do not need money flows to stop. I'm pretty sure they probably want to seeing how the operations work. Everything they need exists. Everything they need exists regardless. Yeah. Goliath believes its investors are so desperate they will buy this line. Insiders got their money. Oh, sorry, buy this line. Okay, sorry, I get a bit carried away. I'm going to read the paragraph.
Insiders got their money, everyone else, no timeline.
Yeah. So all the people that are in the party scene will all have their money because Christopher's still partying up, still spending $100,000 a night on alcohol. That's what we got told. And then we counted all the bottles and we counted $32,000 worth of alcohol in one round of drinks. It was pretty incredible. The email then moves to the most worrying line in the entire document. Are you ready for it, ladies and gentlemen? Whoop, here we go.
We are not in a position to advise as to the exact length of the payout delay.
Oh, so there you go. There's another bit of the shit sandwich coming through. Did you swallow that? We're not in a position to tell exactly how long. So that means it could go on and on and on and on. There you go.
You cannot claim everything is robust and healthy and growing while simultaneously refusing to say when people will get paid. Legitimate investment firms do not freeze withdrawals without a timeline. They do not go offline. They do not shut down operations to protect sensitive data. That last excuse is particularly absurd. The letter claims.
Here we go. The letter claims.
Going offline ensures no sensitive data is compromised.
No sensitive data. Don't worry, you've got insurance. Don't need to worry about sensitive data.
There is no connection between withdrawals and data security. Shutting down payouts does not protect data. Shutting down payouts only protects one thing: the remaining money which they are using to pay their family members and fund legal defense.
Yeah.
A false sense of reassurance.
You feel reassured? Let me know.
After all the delays, excuses, and technical sounding language, the email tries to soothe investors with the familiar Ponzi-era lullaby. Rest assured you will receive your monthly distribution as planned.
Do I hear you saying I'm happy with that? Do I hear investors listening to Danny the Heck and the Avengers? And are you going, I'm all good with that? Or are you a little bit concerned or a large bit concerned? Remember, Chris has gone to Dubai. He's in Dubai having a good old time, driving around in his black Ferrari. Doesn't know what house to stay in tonight. He's got 2 of them over there. Bought 5 houses here. Oh, that's a good idea, wasn't it?
This line appears in nearly every collapsed MLM and high-yield scheme I've ever investigated. It's always vague, always unsupported, and always designed to stop people from pulling out, filing complaints, or going public.
Yeah, and this is where you really need to listen up, you see, because the hope that you hang on to is that branch. You've got to let go of it. And if you think it's your money, just think about this. It's your money you've given Christopher. And he said, if you give me your money, I will generate you 3% for anything under 500,000, 3% yield per month, which is a lot of money if you do the maths. And if you invest over 500,000, I'm going to give you 4%. And if you refer people, I'm going to top that percentage up because we need the referral money. And Chris is a bit loopy because he thought that his team of people will just keep referring and finding people and the money will just keep flowing in. Murdoch comes to mind. So that's what he's thinking would happen. But the reality is he took your money and theoretically and told you that he's just sitting on that money. And that money's secure. And then that money is used to generate the most amazing return on your investment you've ever heard of. And people go to me, oh, but you can get that money. You can make money like that with crypto. And I'm going, but he's not doing crypto. He's using new investor money to pay old investors. And then they are squawking about how wonderful it is. And then they get new investors in. But the cycle, there's only so many unfortunate people in the world. I was going to say silly people, but that would not be fair.
If Goliath truly believed this, they would say when, they would explain why, they would show the audit firm's name, they would provide proof of liquidity.
I mean, how hard is it really to do an audit on this company? You know, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, no blockchain stuff.
They would not release payouts to their romantic partners while everyone else waits. Instead, they offer reassurance with no evidence attached.
So maybe you should go to Dubai and go out drinking with Christopher, and then maybe he will let the money out to you. Maybe that's an option. You could do that. Then you know, go visit, get in the inner circle, go hang out with Tomo, do some weights. Oh, I feel like some soft drinks. Sorry, had to.
Tone is telling. One of the most unsettling aspects of the email is the tone. Words like thrilled, significant milestone, and robust health appear throughout, even as they admit that distributions have been stopped indefinitely. A company in the middle of a real audit crisis does not write like this. A company fighting liquidity issues with a delusional liar at the top using ChatGPT to generate lies is what this points to.
Yeah, nothing wrong with ChatGPT. I like it.
The overly positive language isn't optimism, it's a deliberate attempt to dampen the panic that normally follows a payout freeze. Investors read these emails looking for hope. Goliath has written this email to manufacture that hope.
There's that hope. Stop hanging on to that branch, guys. Let go. You've given your money to a scammer. It's amazing. It's hard to believe. I see it every day. I'm currently investigating 250 active scams. And we shut down websites. Some of them we can, some of them we can't. We don't do anything illegal, but we can report these websites and have them shut down of scams. Like this, we've tried to report it, but we can't. We have to get, legal letters from people. But this is a house of cards, and it has collapsed. And now it's time to listen up to what you're going to do. This is my advice to you. I said to you at the beginning at the beginning I said, I did, and I shut it down, but I don't think I need to repeat it. This isn't a moment to gloat. This is a moment to give you direction on what you should do next and to help you take the right steps now that the facade or the house of cards has collapsed. So you need to contact government. I know it's an unregulated industry, but you didn't. A lot of you guys transferred your money from one bank to another bank, even though Christopher said that the Merrill Bank of America couldn't handle the growth, the second largest bank in America, and they've just switched. Don't you think it's unusual? Think about this. Something I haven't mentioned in this year. They switched banking partners in the middle of an audit. Come on, guys. What company would change banks halfway through an audit if they're doing an audit? That doesn't happen. The only reason they changed banks is because the other bank got shut down by some people that I might know. And I know things. That is not when you change banks halfway through an audit. Just saying. Anyway, you need to contact the FBI, Homeland Security, the RCMP, and the United States Secret Service. Now, that's the USSS, which is lovely to say. And join the WhatsApp group. Yes, there's a WhatsApp group that you can join. The link is in the description of the video you're watching right now. And we are posting information in there as we get it. And we'll keep you up to date. When you step back and read the whole letter without the fluff, the message becomes painfully clear. Goliath has stopped paying investors. Cannot say when payments will resume because there's no money left, guys. Refuses to identify the audit firm. Come on. He's telling people on the phone who it is. We know who he claims it is, but he's not telling people in a letter sent out to investors. Refuses to provide any verifiable information. There's no proof of him doing anything. This is just stringing you along, distancing him and your money apart. And now he has shifted into full crisis management mode. He'll be talking fast and it will all be fluff. This is exactly how Ponzi schemes behave in weeks or months before they collapse. The audit explanation is not a sign of strength. It's a sign of strain. It's just another friggin' excuse. The refusal to provide any honesty means Christopher is going out like, is it Tony Montana?
Tony Montana in Scarface.
Ah, good stuff. I think one of my editors might have a thing for anyway. If you are an investor, please contact the investors. That's what if you are an investor, please contact other investors and come forward to us. Give us your details. We will put you in our whistleblower list. And, some people have been naughty whistleblowers, I'm just saying, but they're not whistleblowers if you're trying to. Anyway, let's not go down there. So join the WhatsApp group and we can privately discuss and protect your rights. You should immediately report the case to the US federal authorities. The United States Secret Service has a dedicated reporting channel for cryptocurrency fraud. So there's the address on my screen, just in case you're blind. There it is right there. It's not a rocket science one. It's crypto fraud at usss.dhs.government. Now, you might have seen another video I did just recently, and it was about that new strike force that they've set up in America, which is absolutely fantastic. This email is specifically designed by the United States Service to receive reports from individuals who believe they have been victims of crypto scam. I shit you not. The first thing that's going to happen, clawbacks. People are going to close this company down. Everyone who's been involved, their books will be seized. That's what happens. And the next thing that they'll do, they'll be trying to recover money. That's all they care about now, is recovering the money. So if you've got your name down and you've already filed, you're at the top of the list, and then they can, whatever money they get back, if they get any money back, it can be distributed. But don't hang around and wait for the FBI to knock on your door, because that doesn't happen. They will knock on your door when they find out you've got money, and they'll probably claw back all the money until they figure out what money is yours and theirs. They're not going to let you figure out, oh, I put $100,000 in and I made 15,000. Here's 15,000. They'll take the whole lot back. And then they'll work it out later on. You might get it back. I don't know. That's not what I do for a living. I report scammers. They'll use blockchain analysis and other investigative tools to track these schemes. Is that what they do? That's what the FBI do. And they're specialists. So if there is a whole lot of money on blockchain, and Christopher has actually been playing around on the blockchain like he's Walt Disney, what's that place called? Disneyland. They'll find it. If you suspect you have been defrauded, you should also file a report with the FBI through the Internet Crime Complaint Center. And you can do that at real simple, ic3.gov. please contact the FBI office in Orlando or Tampa or Homeland Security Investigations in New Jersey. That's I'll just tell you that's where this investigation's been handled. So that's where you want to go. Homeland Security Investigations in New Jersey. Reach out to that department. You'll be speaking to people that know all about this one. If you're in Canada, you want to go to the RCMP. I don't even know what that stands for. I'm not Canadian, I'm Australian. New Zealand. Oh, I call myself Australian. That was gutting. Oh, dear me. Yeah, if you need help contacting law enforcement, then reach out to me. I'm here. I'm going to read that last part.
Your assets are being dissipated by sociopathic con.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to read that. Your assets are being dissipated by sociopathic con men. That's meaning that Chris is drinking your money like it's water. And the time is of the essence. Don't muck around, guys. I mean, what have you got to lose by putting a report in? You've given your money. Technically speaking, your money's safe. That's what Christopher's told you. So you have peace of mind in the subconscious mind. Oh, my money's safe. I can get it back anytime I like. And people have been getting their money out. And now it's all frozen because of an audit. And then the auditor's going to prove validity. It's just bullshit. Wake up. You need to get some help. You need to go off to a financial advisor. You need to hire a lawyer. You need to file your reports. You need to join our WhatsApp group. Right. So what have we done here previously, guys? I know if you watch my videos, you can tune out now. But if you haven't been keeping up with current events, pal, we have gone to town and trying to help you from getting scammed. First of all, we just looked at their own contracts. And as I always said, those contracts that they had were the swords that they would die on. Because they were if you scrutinize those contracts, terrible. They said they had compliance. They didn't have compliance. They were lying to you. They said that we were running a smear campaign. What the hell would we be running a smear campaign for? And they said we were jealous, for God's sake. Their bookkeeper, Nadia Bringus, one bookkeeper was running the whole company. And then she shut down her company. Unreal. And now we find out she's working for Harry M. Samuels as a paid employee. That's what's on their website. Fake audit. That's right. Matt Burke, all of a sudden, Parrish becomes an auditor, independent. Now he's like in bed with Christopher and works for the same company, and the companies are all merged into one. But at that time, he said 115% of your money is protected and untouchable. And it's there if anyone wants it. Now it's all frozen. They don't have any licenses. FinCEN registration. They don't have it. They don't have any licenses to handle money. How the hell do they handle the anti-money laundering stuff? Collapse and clawbacks. We did blogs and videos about clawbacks. What happened? Well, there's going to be a few clawbacks happening about now. Securities questions. Are these contracts legal? Of course they're not legal. They shut down the bloody company that issued the contracts. And they're still trading. No. Just because you open up in Wyoming doesn't mean that you can carry on business. That company is a different entity. You can't just close down in Florida and still trade in Florida, and then open up in Wyoming and have no offices in Wyoming and then say this is where our company is because the laws in Wyoming are more favorable to crypto. Goodness me. What a real company would look for was number 9. Yes, number 9. We've done 9. I think this is number 19. What a real company would look like that is like Chris's. So when Chris, fires up his company after he gets out of jail and starts up another company, maybe he might look at the blueprint that we laid out in that blog. Who's still profiting? So who's still making shitloads of money from Chris, who's stolen all your money? The bars, the cafes, the car groomers, the car. I might put gold leaf all over my Lamborghini. Oh, well, who's profiteering from that? That's what that looked like. All right, then we got our Instagram accounts out and we shot around the White House. We paid $250,000 to be at an event for Fentanyl Day so Christopher could stand up and pledge $2 million to Jackie Segal's charity. And he's done this with other charities. In fact, he claims he's given away $4 million worth of money to charity. We contacted all the charities on the website. One of them came back and said, he didn't give us any money. And then they said, we got it wrong. We found a $300 gift 2 years ago. Here he is on the website saying he's given away $4 million. And All these sort of claims he makes. And when you try to verify them, very, very, very hard. But anyway, he got in the White House, stood up, and made an ass of himself, so I've heard, and pledged $2 million to the fentanyl charity that Jackie Segal was running. That was lovely, Chris. But all the photos, let's take a photo of Kash Patel, let's take a photo of the Speaker of the House, Michael Johnson, and then we'll claim that we were there for Crypto Day. That's what he did. A few weeks later, or the week later, on his LinkedIn account, there's photos of him in the White House on Crypto Day. What kind of guy does this sort of shit? All right, then they sued me. They tried suing me because I'm telling the truth. And that was just really nice. And that's not going too well for them, just saying. But anyway, apparently this year I've been sued by I've had 5 lawsuits. 5 lawsuits. If you want to support me, it'd be much appreciated about now. But I've had 5. 3 of them were in Pakistan, and they've all got merged into one. They were in different regions, and now they're all merged into one. And we've been represented there quite nicely. Thanks, team. And the other one is a local guy who wants a blog removed. And I'm going to Queenstown on Sunday. Woo! To defend myself. Anyway, that's a different story. And then we've got, obviously, Goliath has tried to sue me. So good luck with that, guys. And then they get dirty. I had 8 copyright strikes against my YouTube channel. A video like this is my copyright. But 2 of the copyright strikes come from Goliath. And they were claiming that my video was theirs. Dirty tactics. So I actually got 3 copyright strikes about 3 Goliath Ventures videos, but 2 of them actually had the name Goliath Ventures on them. Another one was from another scammer. Really strange. Hopefully they're not networking. Anyway, I got 8 in total since that blog happened. And then crypto crashed. Did you hear about that, guys? $380 million lost in a day. Ooh, boom. Chris didn't even flinch. No, don't worry. Don't worry. Money's good. Then we had the bribe, where the guy dropped off a letter making out it was a court document issued letter to where I was visiting. I hadn't been there for 10 days, turned up 20 minutes later, this guy turns up at the door and tries to serve me what looks like a court document. And when you read it, it was a bribe of $150,000. They were trying to bribe me to, and I could have done with the money. That would set me up quite nicely, just saying. Yeah, but $150,000 they were trying to bribe me. So I went out looking for the guy, found him in his car. As he's backing back his car, I stood directly in front of the car and he hit the gas. I had to step out of the way. I managed to grab his wiper, nearly cut my hand, but he was going to run me over. And this was the guy that was dropped the paper off. And then it's just crazy. Anyway, what else have we got? Whistleblower. We had a whistleblower that wasn't really a whistleblower. He just wanted to make sure he could get away with the money. He took out more money than he can put in. And that was quite interesting. We did a blog about that. The banking breakdown. Well, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. So the biggest bank in the world, second biggest bank in America, probably in the world, I don't actually know, can't handle the growth of Goliath Ventures. And as I mentioned earlier on, not only that, they decided to do it right in the middle of an audit. We're going to change banks. Yeah, that's quite cool. And also, if you don't know, I think the Steve Davis one was a bit of a laugh, actually. And it's actually a personal favorite. And one of my Avengers said it's the best photo ever. But here I am with Pixel. He's wearing his no scam jacket, only so he doesn't get cold, on a Porsche. Now, they might think that's interesting. Why is Danny in a Porsche? And I wouldn't really be sitting in. If I had a flash car, it would probably have to be a V8. And I used to have an R8 Holden, which was about a $90,000 car, probably in America. They're called Vauxhalls, I think, and it's probably only worth about 50 grand. But anyway, it's my flashiest car I've ever had. But if you go down here, you can see the sponsored article, and this is what they do to build their credibility. From firefighter chief to entrepreneur, Steve Davis announces growth of raising alphas. New publishing house, Choice Press. And here he is. Here he is on his blue Porsche, looking very much the same as my blue Porsche. They think that's so cute. I think it's cute, but we use ChatGPT to do better images. Anyway, so in here, it's not a press article. It's a sponsored article. At the very bottom of the article, it comes down. It says Marketers Insiders and Business Insider editorial teams were not involved in the creation of this post. So it's a paid advert, promoting himself as a hero and then telling everyone that he's come out with his own House Choice Press, which is a publishing company. And he's got 7 reviews on Amazon. And 2 of them are 1-star reviews. That's not good. Yeah. And it's just crazy. But people trusted him. He's a firefighter. He's in the community. He's the administrator. He's the administrator for Goliath Ventures. And here he is. You know, this is what's so, ugh. Anyway, so that was the last one. And in there, we mentioned about the firefighter. And then we also had a look at the last audit letter that they put together that we didn't think was actually the real deal. But we went through it anyway. And maybe you want to line up the fake, well, we'll call it the fake audit letter and the other, well, let's call that fake as well, audit letter, and see what you think, whether they're written by Chris or ChatGPT. I'm going for ChatGPT. All right, so you wonder how we do our investigations? Well, we do open source intelligence. That means that we use publicly available records. It takes a long time. Archive web pages, corporate filings, domain name data, social media activity, and open blockchain transactions, which there wasn't very many transactions when investigating Goliath. And about me, well, if you don't know me, I'm a New Zealander, and I didn't sleep last night. And I've got about 2 minutes to get out of this seat here and go after my meeting I'm going to at 9 o'clock today. However, what I am saying is I'm a YouTuber. I do podcasts. You can book me. I'm available for speaking engagements. I've already heard news that I might be able to get myself in some sort of little documentary, which I'm really looking forward to. So if you can support me in what I do and my Avengers, I really appreciate it. Bloomberg's done a documentary on me. News Australia's done one. They said I'm the biggest scam fighter in Australasia. Even Opal in India, is that Opal India? The Press, which is our local newspaper, The Guardian Australia, ABC News, the New York Times gave me the name, the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger. I think that stunted my growth, actually. And Radio New Zealand, which is nice to be on the local radio. And Otago Times, if you haven't heard of that, it's the last paper on the very bottom of the planet. But that's me. I'm not being, I don't like being the bearer of bad. I don't like being called a dream stealer, by the way, you scammers. Because I don't dream steal. I'm entrepreneurial. I'm an entrepreneur. I believe anyone should get a product and a service, build a business, and have great customers. Hopefully you're one of my customers and you'll believe me next time I call out something for being a scam. Please do something about what's happened. Don't let these guys get away with it. Don't let them spend your money like it's water. I mean, it's just not how we do business. The world's a sad place. Don't get depressed about it. Reach out to me. I'm here for free counseling. I've had people in my life die by suicide. When I started busting scams, there was one scam that I got a phone call from these organizations, and they were a whistleblowing company, and they've been investigating one scam, and they said they tracked 11 people had died by suicide just from one scam. That's what my why is. That's why I do it. People go, oh, you're doing it for YouTube clicks. Get real, mate. Get real. They go after lonely people. They go after communities. It destroys families. They just ruin people's lives. They go after the retired people's money. How are somebody who's retired, 80 years of age, and they've got their super money or their 401k, whatever, and they go after that money? How are those people going to recover if you steal their money? Have you got your retirement funds in Goliath? And are you hoping that I'm wrong and they're right? Are you hoping that you're going to get 60% return for your investment? Don't do nothing. Don't. Go into the description of this video. It's the more button that you can hardly see. I always wonder why they don't make it a bit bigger. You'll get the full length description of this blog that I just read. And in there's a link to the real blog. And in there, you can go there and you can get those email addresses. You can get those organizations that you should be reaching out to. I love what I do and I love the Avengers. But as I said, I've been up since 3:30 in the morning because I couldn't sleep, because I had to get this message out to you. So don't waste it. Don't waste it. Help me. Help you. I'm available. Join our WhatsApp group. We'll feed you information as it comes to hand. Let's build a community that actually fights these bastards. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for listening.